Hello everybody, it's Jen, Scrapbena Creations. I'm back with another design team project for Not2Shabby. This is the card I'm going to be creating today. So I'm using the Pink and Main Fiesta stamp set. So you've seen this done a couple times if you've been watching my design team cards this month. So this card I'm going to be using the guacamole with the nacho, the little sombrero hat, and the hot chili pepper. So I'm going to be coloring these up. I'm using the same colors for the nacho that I did for the taco shell, which is my Spectrum Noir GB3, GB1, and TN2. I'm also going to use that to color the top portion of the sombrero and the inside inner portion of the sombrero as well to make it look like a straw sombrero, one that you might purchase if you're on holiday in Mexico or something. So once I get these colored, I'm going to move on. I'm going to be jumping from image to image just so that I can use the same colors throughout on all three and not have to keep bringing them back. So I'm using my YG17, YG25, and YG03 for the guacamole. This is the only 3 Copic markers I have in the green shade, so you see me use them a lot, but really I think if you're just starting out your collection, to have a set of 3 that you can kind of use on anything is perfect. That's how I'm starting out with my Copic collection. So I'm also going to color the top of the pepper, and then I'm going to move on to reds. So again, I'm going to use R39, R29, and R24. And these are the 3 red markers that I have in my Copic collection as well. So I'm just going to color the hot pepper, and then I decided I was going to put little tomato pieces in my guacamole because that's how I like to eat it. So I'm just shading darkest to lightest here, going back and forth between the 3 markers. So now I'm going to use the lightest, the R24, to fill in the rest of the pepper and finish off the little tomato pieces. And then I decided I wanted to do red for the little part here of the sombrero as well. Just trying to tie in as many of the colors in on all three of the images. So now I'm going to move on to blue. The pattern paper that I'm using has really pretty bright blue color and a purple color in it. So I'm using the TB9, the TB8, and the TB7 here in my Spectrum Noir markers. And these are very juicy markers. I don't know if it's because they're ones I seldom use, but I had to be really careful that they didn't kind of smush out of the image. Bleed, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. So I thought I was going to use all 3 of the blues, and then I decided that the TB7 was too different from the other 2. So you see me here, I take that away and I decide to just use the TB8 for the entire bowl. I'll fix that up a little because it looks a little funny now that I had left that middle space thinking I was going to use a 3rd color. But once you get it blended, it's absolutely fine. So to bring in the purple from the pattern paper that I'm going to use, I'm using my BV04, BV02, and BV01 Copic markers. And I'm just using that for the sombrero and the little tassels that are hanging down. Really easy to color. I'm going to do some detailing on the hat, so I'm not too worried about the shading, I guess. I mean, I am doing shading, but I knew that I wanted to brighten it up with some white detail. So then I decided that I wanted to bring in more of the red and some of the green. So here's the pattern paper that I'm using. It's from the Summer Fiesta paper pad from Recollections, which you can purchase at Michael's. And it has this amazing, what would be to me like a Mexican blanket. So I'm using that as the background. I decided to use a little bit of wilted violet for the focal panel here, the focal spot. It's a stitched oval that I cut out just to give it a little bit of color and to again tie in the purple that's in the pattern paper. So I'm using the Sentiment Holy Guacamole, And I just curved that a little bit so that it would fit nicely in the oval pattern. And this is a top folding A2 card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I decided that I wanted to pop the oval up on some foam, some fun foam. So I just die cut out using the oval that I cut the card stock out of, and then I just go around and cut off a bit around the edges, so it gives you a little bit of wiggle room when you go to put the cardstock piece over top. So I'm using my Tombow Mono Extreme Adhesive to adhere this down. I've sort of given up right now on my ATG gun. It is annoying me immensely, so I'm just kind of using other things that I have handy. So here's the focal panel, and now I'm going to get ready to get the images on to that little oval, and I love how all the colors tie in with the pattern paper. So I'm going to lay down the guacamole bowl with the nacho chip first, and then the little chili pepper is going to go in the center, and I'm just using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. I love this stuff. It is definitely my favorite liquid glue, and pretty much the only one that I use now. So a little bit finger tied here. I was trying to figure out how I was going to get these on with them both in my hands, and I just didn't want to get glue everywhere. So luckily I was able to get this on without too much glue all over the place. So that's the final layout of the images for this card. Just using my stamp block here to press that down. And now I'm bringing out my white gel pen, and here's where you're going to see I'm doing some little white detail. So I put a line on the bowl and then down the chili pepper, so it looks like maybe it's hitting some sun with a bit of a shine reflection. And then I'm doing some dot detailing in the blue part of the sombrero. I thought I'd put some in the guacamole as well, and then I wanted to do some of that detailing on the nacho chip just to kind of tie everything together. Then I decided I wanted one more line on the nacho bowl. Then I'm bringing in my glossy accents for that piece of the sombrero and for the chili pepper to make them look shiny. And I'm also going to use a little bit on the tomato chunks in my guacamole. So once I get that finished, the card is done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you really soon in the next one. Take care. Bye.